You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Mama always said I'd be the chosen one.
Communism is a failed system, universally failed system. And I don't see socialism as a very useful substitute, but that's another story. Cuba is unfortunately, a failed state and repressing their citizens.
Wow, that's a big admission from President Biden. This is July 16, 2021. Within the last 24 hours, we have seen two major admissions from the White House. And they are major, and yet the mainstream or now state-controlled media is trying to slip right past it. Or rework it, rephrase it, re-narrate it, anything to keep it from appearing to be what it is, and an admission that, one, as you heard from Biden just say, communism is a failed system. It doesn't work. Well, that flies in the face of the really progressive left that insists, oh, no, we need to move more closer to Marxism, to communism. No word yet on what the squad has to say directly, and by that I mean AOC and the others, and those that are around them and in their shadow because they fear stepping out of their shadow and they fear speaking out against the mob before they get canceled. But here was President Biden making that statement. Now, he makes the statement, and then later, you're going to hear later over the next 2 hours, you also hear his White House spokesman kind of begin to put a little spin on it already. And you know where they still trace it back? The uprising in Cuba, not the failed communism government, which Biden just announced, but Trump and handling COVID and COVID wrecking that nation. And they got down on MSNBC, Andrea Mitchell helping carrying that water for them. We're going to get into that as well. The other big admission, Jen Psaki, White House spokesman, admitting flat out, yeah, we tell Facebook what to do and how to deal with people that we don't like on Facebook. They don't say it in that many words, but it is as close as you can get. I'll read one of her statements here, and you're going to hear it later. She's talking about that we basically are flagging posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. The White House is flagging information that it considers disinformation on Facebook and, of course, every other media outlet that they can control. If I simply put up on Larry Conners USA Facebook, today we're going to talk about COVID, and that's all I say. I just say the word COVID. I immediately get a flag on that same post saying, for full, complete, accurate information, go to this site. Yes, that is a form of censorship. I have told you repeatedly. Censorship by any other name is still censorship. We're going to have a lot to get into that. And also, of course, we've got the book that's coming out of the Washington Post claiming that Trump was the chief of staff and Army and Marine and military leaders were so frightened that Trump was going to try an insurrection that they thought we might have to get our troops out to put down an insurrection. They continue building and peddling on that lie out of the January 6th event. Well, there was an insurrection case again today, I think actually yesterday, in a federal building, and Capitol Police made an arrest. It was a Democrat. I haven't heard them say she's guilty of insurrection. And if you're waiting for them to do it, I would not hold your breath. We're also going to be joined before this hour is out Jonathan Butcher with Heritage Foundation. He points out that we've got California school districts approving $40 million mandatory ethnic studies based on critical race theory. And the state of California, L.A. County in particular, says you need to mask back up. Back up. In the meantime, Disneyland in California, they're sending thousands of workers and people to Florida because the taxes are less. Even Disney is fleeing the blue state, I should say, of California. We've got a lot to cover over the next 2 hours. We're not just conservative, not just independent, not, of course, liberal. What we are here is 100% patriotic, lock and load, ready, on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.